Hi, this is Corey Kohlmeyer, and you are listening to Confessions of a Marketer. And today, my guest is Emily Peters.
Hi, guys.
She is our social media coordinator here at the agency. And how long have you been here now?
Little over 2 years. I started in September of 2017. So
almost feels like Emily has been here like you just started yesterday. Like it does not feel like 2 years at all.
I know.
It's kind of crazy.
I know. This past year especially, I feel like it's just flown by.
Yeah. She's an old person now here with us, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Big responsibilities and yep.
Yeah, she is. She's all grown up. So Emily came to us from K-State. She was a new grad, and it was kind of interesting. So you want to talk about how we found you?
Yeah. So when I graduated, I knew I wanted to do agency because I had thought about, corporate versus agency, and agency just had more of the style that I was interested in, the fast pace.
And talk about like kind of what you're graduating in background.
Okay. So I graduated from K-State with a degree in mass communications with an emphasis in public relations. And so I was looking into the PR side of things as well as the marketing. And so I have a strong writing background. And when I graduated, like I was just saying, I was looking into either corporate or agency. And, I narrowed it down to agency because I thought that was more fast paced, more my kind of speed. And
it's more glamorous.
Yeah. It is fun though, because you get to work in so many different industries with so many different clients, and you really get to, be more involved with your community. Mm-hmm. And so after I graduated, I did move back home here. And so, I was applying for jobs, wasn't really getting me anywhere, not at the rate that I was wanting to be at. And so I started networking more with people, and through that networking, your name was thrown out there.
I like to network.
Yeah. And so then I contacted, Corey and Amy, and I basically said, can we meet? Like, I'm very interested in your company. And I thought it was the perfect fit. Mm-hmm. And so, and then they brought me in, and it was meant to be.
Yes. So we interviewed little Emily. She did a great job. It was kind of funny about the time. I think I'm sure I've shared this with you before, but for everyone else, when I was working late one night, per my usual, and we had been talking about the social media side and how it was really growing, and I have been working in social media since, oh dear Lord, at least 2008, 2009, and that's kind of when things kind of started blowing up, and we saw that, not really blowing up, but it was just starting. Like, people were realizing that there was, there was market to be gained by being on social media and on the platforms. But, of course, that beast got bigger, and it wasn't just Facebook. Then it became Twitter, and it became Snapchat, and it became Instagram. And as much as I love social media, it was becoming a lot. And so, and talking to our clients and realizing that space was really growing, we acknowledged that we needed somebody that could really step into it, and not only step into it and just be able to help on the social media and understand it, but do it in a way that really complemented what we do here at the agency. So we've talked about strategy before, and that really it all comes down to having a strategy and implementing that strategy and just remaining consistent. How do you feel like, on the social media side that, we implement strategy with that? I mean, how do you feel like maybe that's different than asking your brother Paul to do your social media on the side in his free time?
Yeah, so each client's different. But before any campaign, or before we get started with any clients, we figure out, what their needs are, what their goals are and objectives. And after doing research on, who their audiences are and,
the industry.
Yeah, and then we create those plans, we create those calendars and those campaigns, then, we can insert those audiences that they're, looking to target. And so that's where the strategy comes in with those different calendars and processes.
Well, and I think, too, another way that we kind of do things maybe a little bit differently is we still have media planners here and media buyers. So, when we're doing a flight for maybe it's starting on television, or maybe there's a billboard campaign that's running, we do have those conversations internally with when are those flights starting and when does the social social media need to start, and how does that all play out? So
yeah, and I feel like with everybody here at the office, I work with each person. I feel like there's not just like one, person that I work with more. It's a whole collaboration. Yeah. So, even with the media buyers, it's like, okay, so when they place theirs, they let me know, hey, this is ready to go. This is the flight dates. And so this is when this needs to run as well.
Yeah,
so,
I think that's kind of something maybe people don't think about, is that we will repurpose different pieces of content and different pieces of creative, from a billboard campaign to, hey, can we rework that to put it on social? Should it be the cover page? If we have video, we're now running ads for video on social media.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to do the most with each campaign, the most with what we can. So,
yeah. I don't know how many times we've posted something or done something, and Emily's like, can I post it on social? Can we change that and put it on social? And I'm like, yeah, we totally should put it on social.
Yep.
Like, it needs to be there. So when a company is thinking about doing social media, do you feel like it's important for any size company to do social, or, do you think it's just for small businesses, medium businesses? I mean, what's kind of your feeling on that?
I don't feel like there's a limit or, a requirement for you to do social. Like, everybody should be in the social media game, no matter how small or big. It doesn't matter the budget, because, you could put like $1 a day towards an ad. It does not matter how, small your budget is. It's just that you're there. Your presence is there. You're getting that conversation started with your customers. You're promoting yourself through, that brand awareness and just making sure that presence is there.
Yeah, I've been amazed in the networking things that I have done. We had kind of talked about businesses, and one of the gentlemen in the class just kind of kept pushing me. Well, what if they don't have time? What if they just can't do it? What if they don't have time? And my response was, you have to make the time. Like, you have to make that a priority.
And some people don't have the time, and that's where we come into play a lot of times too. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've ran over to a client's place, to just shoot a quick social video or something, and we do the planning, but there's also those organic moments as well that we can also help with. So
yeah, and I think the organic moments, those are the really fun things. Something that no one was thinking about. That how do we promote that? What do we do with that? And you're very good about going to see the different clients and helping them. Talk a little bit more about, like, you just touched on social video and on maybe how big that's becoming.
Yeah. So majority of viewers are watching videos. They're not going to be reading, we still like to do
people
blog
do
posts
know how to read.
Yeah,
so that's
I know.
Good, but
nowadays majority of people are watching video. And so that's what we've been really big on, especially transcribing those videos as well as captioning them. Because, it's the same thing as repurposing things. So, those videos that we shoot, we can, transcribe and make those into blog posts as well. So it's just extra content for our clients.
Yeah, and we get excited about content here.
Yes, very excited.
Content, having something to put out there, because we don't want to just put random stupid things out.
Yeah, no.
We want it to have a purpose and a meaning. Not that it has to be like hardcore every time.
No,
just,
And some of the content too that we put out there on social comes from, some website content, if they have FAQs or different things like that, just informative posts that you can mix in with the fun, everyday posts. So
what would you say your favorite platform is that you work out of?
Instagram, for sure.
Instagram's become really big. The last 2 years.
Yeah, it does have a younger audience. And I know we were just talking about earlier today that, Facebook is that tends to be a little bit more of an older audience. But I will say, Instagram stories are definitely my favorite. Snapchat, though, is on a personal basis, I use Snapchat and Instagram the most. Just because I feel like that's where my friends are. But for clients' sake, I feel like we have started to, lead clients more towards Instagram now, and even LinkedIn we've started doing more with. So which is a great place, for your business to be, for those organizational needs and everything.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, I like the networking piece on LinkedIn. I mean, I feel like I get a little bit of that too on Facebook for sure. Instagram, I am on that. I don't know that I've quite figured out Instagram, which is why you're here. So that's yay for that. I will not dip my toe into Snapchat yet. I'm putting my foot down. I've got enough of them. So.
Yeah, I think Instagram is just. I think it's my favorite just because with the stories, you get to interact with people every day and, your friends and your customers, they get to see what you're doing in the now, like what's going on with your business, whether that's events or, just fun things that are happening, it just is one picture that you have to take and post. It's,
Well, there's a lot of possibilities with Instagram. I mean, because now you've got IGTV, which you and I have talked about, which I think is really interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that, what that is?
Yeah. So you can, videos on that, you can post longer videos up to 10 minutes long. And then, so stories are more of your pictures. You can do video on those, but they're just little clips. But so IGTV, that's going to be more of your longer commercials, like long form videos, informational.
Yeah, I know typically you click on a video and it'll say if you want to see more of it, like after 30 seconds,
you can swipe up.
Takes you. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. Well, and you talked about this a little bit earlier, but I want you to kind of go into it a little bit more. So when I first started doing Facebook ads, we were able to kind of target a radius and target a town. And that was pretty much it. I mean, there were interests that you could choose, but when you choose interest, it kind of limits you on the size of audience. So what are we doing now with those audiences?
I mean, they have a whole detailed targeting list. You can upload email lists, you name it. I mean, there's...
there's pixels too.
Yes, so we can do conversions, which that's fairly simple too.
And the pixels where you add a pixel to your website and then you can see that traffic.
Yeah, and you can track that. Yep. So we've been doing that as well. So there's different options available for, targeting for those ads. You can do the detailed targeting, anything like that, all the interests that, so when we brainstorm for ads, we come up with, the different interests for these campaigns, the different demos, you name it. So there's some clients that we do get those email lists too that we upload into there. So.
Yeah, and we've used social too, I think, as like a test, for different markets that maybe we're interested in or different audiences, which I find that kind of interesting because I don't think people always see social media as something that can help them decide where to go next. You know what I mean? Like looking at a market and saying, okay, let's run ads there and let's see what that need is and what we get back from it. So what do you think about doing some of those types of things as far as like the tests and whatnot?
So we've done different campaign split tests. And I mean, one client in particular, we've seen a difference in, different creatives and how each perform, and we've done different audience, like lookalike audiences and split tests between that. And so we've just seen, so with those split tests, we can see which campaigns do better. And then from that, we can, and then on which platforms as well. So, if one creative is doing better on Instagram, then, we can just primarily do that and then do the other creative on Facebook.
Yeah, that's always kind of interesting to me when the creative, when there's such a big difference, such a variant between the performance on that. But for whatever reason, some people just seem more focused on some things. So we will make those kind of changes. I know Emily has some pet peeves on social. Tell us about some of your pet peeves.
Well, student video, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Making sure that it's horizontal. Yes. Because when you shoot it the other way, there's bars on the side. And I don't know what it is about that, but it
drives you nuts.
Yes, drives me nuts.
Well, and we've talked with clients about that because there have been studies on it about the vertical versus the horizontal. And I think some of the younger millennials, it doesn't bother them as much, maybe. It bothers me. I don't like it when I see it either. I don't think it looks professional. So are there any other things you can think of?
So I know with Instagram stories and stuff and video on there. So that you do want your phone to be vertical because, that won't show the bars. But when you're posting to Facebook and other places like that, you are going to want to shoot horizontal just because to get rid of those bars on the side. So,
well, and you've talked with clients too about best practices, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you've done training on that.
Yeah, we do training. We have, a one sheet on best practices, on setting up event pages, ads, how to shoot video, the equipment you'll need.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like as an agency goes, like we're very versatile and we're very, I think, thoughtful when it comes to the client as far as what are their needs. Can they afford to have us doing all of their social, or do they need us to do some of it and supplement the other side where they're doing a little bit too? So we have trained people on how to do social video, best practices, which that may be something that we want to add in like as a link on this podcast that people can maybe take a look at and see.
Yeah.
I think it's helpful for sure. And
I do too. And, we do have those sheets in place, to help the clients, but we're also here to help too. So, it just, if you can't handle it, we can. So we have those capabilities.
Yeah, I think people get intimidated by social media. I mean, I know we have a lot of clients that do social video, and getting people on camera is not easy.
And you don't always have to have the, best equipment, to shoot the best video. Like, I just got the new iPhone and it works just fine. It is great.
She loves her new iPhone. So
Yeah.
This is an endorsement now for the iPhone.
Yes.
I got one too because hers was really cool, so I can't not have a cool phone as well. The video is crisp. I mean,
it is, and the pictures, it does a good job. So
people can use their phone.
Yeah, you don't have to have a high-tech camera to shoot a video or take a picture. So,
And
we have the equipment available, but for everyday stuff, you don't have to have that kind of equipment.
Well, and I think that's kind of the difference here too, because we do try to look at, okay, does it need to be a high production quality where our creative team is working, our videographer Aaron is working on it, or does it need to be more of a social type of video?
And that's in our processes. We talk about that beforehand on shoots. What kind of video is this? What are we looking to gain from this? So.
And I think that's an important conversation, especially when we repurpose like we do. My goal with clients is like, let's not waste their money. If we're going to put the time and the effort into it, then let's make sure it's great, and let's make sure it's something that we can use across all different platforms. And then you reuse videos too a lot of times, don't you?
All the time.
Things.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. So we have one retailer who is amazing on camera, and he does a great job. And we've reused some of his content before because it's still timely. Like it's still.
Yep.
Relevant.
There's no reason to, if we create a big production video, no reason not to reuse. So
and I think that's something important for people to realize. I mean, if they are going to go to a production house and get some creative made, like thinking about how can I use this production piece? What else can I do with it, and not being wasteful of it?
And it's just having that conversation beforehand on what is this being used for, and how can we make the most out of it.
Yeah,
so
most definitely. Or are there any other things that you can think of that small business, medium, large businesses should think about? Should a large business do social media?
Yes, most definitely. So
why? We're Nike. Why do we need social media?
Again, it's creating that audience engagement. It's, having that conversation with your customers. It's all about the engagement.
It really is. I mean, the amount of time people are on their phones, was it iPhone now gives you, I don't know if the other phones do this, tells you how long
you're on social.
Yeah, how long you're on social and how long you're being productive. My goal is to be more productive.
It's scary.
I'm sure yours is really scary.
Yeah.
But you work all the time. Emily's always posting. She's a trooper. We put up cute little ads not ads, but cute little posts on the holidays for all of our clients, including the agency, and she does an amazing job. So how's the job been so far? It's 2 years.
It's been great. I love it. Yeah. I always tell people I love it because So there's never a dull moment, and it is exactly what I was looking for. So.
Well, and you've fit in very, very well. She is, what do you call it, a fashionista, in case you didn't know. So that makes it lots of fun. I have someone to talk to about fashion and make sure I'm not doing something I shouldn't be doing in my old age. So it's good to have Emily around.
I don't know if that's a compliment or...
Total compliment.
I think I have a shopping problem. It's more of...
Yeah, I might have one too, but that's a whole nother episode for another time. So thank you, Emily, for being here with us and talking to us about social media.
Yeah,
and,
thank you.
All of your social media and contact handles are on ADMARKICT.com.
Yep.
So reach out to Emily. She's super nice. She won't bite, I promise. She's a very sweet person. So, and we will talk to you again, I think the next time, maybe after the first of the year. And I'm hoping to have my business partner, Amy Hofer, on so we can talk about some different things.
Exciting stuff.
I know, right? Okay, well, thank you again.
Thank you.